Yes, Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So please take over, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances, Dandavat pranams to all the assembled devotees. We'll start with Mangalacharan prayers and then we'll continue. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Hare Krishna. Once again, my Dandavat pranams to all the devotees assembled on the call. So many of you might be waiting for Prabhupada's disciple, Ramchand Das Prabhu, today to hear. With Krishna's mercy and devotees' mercy, I'll try my best to help all of us understand the following verse, 8.1.12. So we are all very fortunate once again to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam every day in the morning as the first thing, because Bhagavatam removes all kinds of abadhrani, the impurities, insecurities that we have in our heart, and frees us from all kinds of anxieties. If we pay attention every day and read and understand Srimad Bhagavatam, if it becomes the first thing in our day, we are already setting on a good note for that day, because we have successfully attained the goal of the human life, at least for that time in the day. And like how I was listening to a small interview, a snippet of Radhanath Swami Maharaj, I think yesterday randomly. So Maharaj was telling that how our phone requires charging so that it can function very nicely. All the applications in the phone function very nicely. It needs to be charged. Similarly, we all needs to be charged every day. The living entities, souls, has to be charged every day, so that we all can function better towards the goal of the human fun of life. And that charging comes from our chanting and our hearing to Srimad Bhagavatam. and then association of the devotees, in the association of the devotees, which is very much needed for us to function properly. So I really like that one. So I thought I would like just charge, and how Srimad Bhagavatam plays an important role in that. And again, we are all very fortunate to cross the 7th canto and enter into the new canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. 7th canto completely focuses on Lord Narasimhadev's pastime, where the whole and sole purpose of Lord Narasimhadev's appearance is to protect his devotees. Of course, every appearance of the Lord is, the purpose is to protect the devotees, but he spends more time, like Lord Ramachandra or Lord Krishna. They have more pastimes also. Narasimhadev is especially appears to protect Prahlad Maharaj. And 8th canto, as you all know, Bhagavatam has 10 subject matters, which you all might be already knowing. So sometimes it's good for all of us to have a recap. And then how the 8th canto, what 8th canto speaks. So 8th canto especially speaks about all the Manvantara avatars, starting from Swayambhu Manu, and then we'll go into Gajendra, Lord, a great devotee again. Gajendra's pastimes will come in 8th canto. And also in 8th canto, we will also hear about Mohini Avatara of the Lord, and also about, mostly about the Manvantara, mostly about the Manus. In a day of a Brahma, there are 14 Manus, and what kind of Manus, how these Manus rule, and how much duration they have, and the pastimes related to these Manus is what we are going to see. So as I was saying, Bhagavatam has 10 subject matters: Sarga, Visarga, Sthanam, Poshanam, Uti, Manvantara, Ishanukatha, Nirodha, Mukti, Ashraya. So these are the 10 subject matters that are discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam. For any scripture to be identified as an authenticated scripture, it should describe all these 10 subject matters. And Bhagavatam is considered as a ripened fruit, because Vyasadeva has written Bhagavatam after writing all the 18 Puranas. And it is glorified as also as Mahapurana and also Amala Purana. Amala Purana is spotless Purana. And by just reading Srimad Bhagavatam, end to end. So all of us are like, we don't have patience to go in detail and read Srimad Bhagavatam. Once we know the stories, we all think that we know Srimad Bhagavatam. So knowing stories is one level of understanding of Srimad Bhagavatam. But diving deeper into every verse and every pastime, and what we have to learn from that pastime, is another level of understanding. More deeper level of understanding is able to realize those pastimes is completely another level of understanding. So that's why pure devotees of the Lord, even though they are hearing the same story again and again every day, they are able to relish, because they are able to realize and also experience new rasa, every new experience it newly every day. Like how chanting of the holy name looks like those who don't understand the same words are repeated again and again for a lot of time. So mantra meditation is not like you will read a lot of mantras. One mantra we try to chant again and again, again and again, again and again, and make our mind deliver from three trayate iti man. So it delivers our mind from all kinds of miseries and lets us focus. So similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam alone is enough for all of us to get remove all kinds of anxieties and all kinds of insecurities that we have in our heart. And the first and second, as I was saying, the eighth canto mainly focuses on the theme of Manus. How so right now the seventh Manu's rule is going on. So before this, there were six Manus who have ruled. So Manus are actually the administrators of the universe. They are appointed by the Supreme Lord. They work for the Supreme Lord and they take care of the universe, every universe. And they also contribute to the progeny mainly. So they will begin the progeny in the universe. And Swayambhuva Manu is the first Manu. So there are 14 Manus who rule one Kalpa or one day of Lord Brahma. So one day of Lord Brahma is called as Kalpa. And in one Kalpa, 14 Manus come. And one Kalpa, that is one day of Brahma, is 1,000 Chatur Yugas. So 1,000 Chatur Yugas is like one Chatur Yuga is Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Together is one Chatur Yuga. So these kind of Chatur Yugas are 1,000 Chatur Yugas in a day of Brahma. All these numbers I'm trying to remember because I came suddenly to the class. Because these numbers always I try to forget. They are so difficult to remember, but I'm trying to remember those numbers. So if I go wrong anywhere, feel free to correct. So the 1,000 Chatur Yugas contain one day of Brahma, one Kalpa contains 1,000 Chatur Yugas, and 14 Manus rule those. That means each Manu rules around 70 or 71 Chatur Yugas. That means 71 into one Satya, Treta, Dvapara, and Kali Yuga. So in every Manvantara, there are six kinds of personalities who manage various functions of the universe. So when we learn all these things, we understand how wonderfully Krishna maintains and administrates each universe. It is not some randomly formed universe, happens randomly. The things happen on their own. So I was reading, I think in Prabhupada Leelamrita or somewhere else, because as I said, it's not like my own bragging. Since I read a lot of scriptures in a week, sometimes I forget the scripture from where I have read. Then Prabhupada writes that if you see a beautiful painting anywhere, when you go to any art shop or in your own house itself, sometimes when you go and buy, if you see a beautiful flower painting, you will stop and try to appreciate it because the flowers are so delicate and the formation of flowers is so difficult. Sometimes some flowers will have multicolors, and in the beginning of the flower there will be a different color, at the end of the petal there will be a different color, and then we will wait there and we will see. And somebody, if anybody paints nature like a mountain range or anything, and we will wait and see the details of that painting, and then we'll appreciate the creator of that painting. But when it comes to the universe, which draws naturally beautiful pictures, I always wonder, when the fall comes, all these leaves of the trees fall down, and then in winter they are so dry. And if you are in a state where it snows a lot, and if you have a ice rain or they get frozen, and all those trees which are dry with only sticks, with their branches or sticks, will have those ice formed on them, and in the night they glow and they look beautiful too. And as soon as the spring comes, suddenly like you will be watching the tree every day in your backyard, which was very dry until that minute, and suddenly it starts blooming, and you see that it again becomes everything becomes green, as if like somebody is telling them to do what they are doing. And then we still say that there is no creator behind all these things, and this world is it came on its own, and then it is impersonal. Somebody who is the creator behind this is not a person, we say. So we agree the creator behind a painting, a manual painting, but when we see the beautiful creation of this material universe, we come to a conclusion very quickly saying that there is no creator, there is no maintainer, there is no administrator of this universe. But Krishna wonderfully maintains this universe, and he appoints many of them to take care of this universe and to cater this universe for the living entities so that they can make use of whatever the body they are taking, and they can realize that their home is not this home and their home is the spiritual world. So there are 6 kind of personalities who manage the various functions of this universe. They are Manus, who are, as we discussed, there are 14 Manus. They rule 1 day of a Brahma, each of them 71 Yugas, and the sons of the Manu. So I just wanted to tell to Syamarasika Mataji, anytime you find Prabhuji joining and Prabhuji wants to take the session, you feel free to interrupt me. I'm going to stop at that point and hand over the session to Prabhuji. So, and then the sons of Manu, every Manu have sons. Like Swayambhu Manu has 3 daughters and 2 sons. Like that, every Manu has sons and daughters who maintain the universe. And the Devi Devatas, the enlightened, the elevated living beings who are in the Swarga, heavenly planets, and they are in a big in number. Each Devi Devata maintain so many things in this universe. We only know few things like rains, heat, fire, but even the eyelids, the upper eyelid have a devata and the lower eyelid that we are having have a devata, and we open and close also by the mercy of those Devi Devatas. So the Devi Devatas, there are so many Devi Devatas who manage so many things in this universe. And then the Indra. Indra is the head of this Devi Devatas. And we often hear about Indra. In many pastimes, we come across Indra. So Indra is a post. It's not like a person's name. It's like our president is a post. Indra is also a post. And whoever performs 1,000 Aswamedha yajnas, they get elevated to that post and they occupy that post. And even that is decided who will be the next Indra, who will be the next Brahma. That all is also does not happen randomly. It happens again, the which living entity becomes that is also decided. And if there is no living entity qualified for those positions, Krishna himself takes those posts and maintains this universe. So Manus, sons of Manus, Devatas, Indra, and then sages, Saptarishis, who are in the Maharloka. Above the Swargaloka is Maharloka. 7 sages. And then Manmantra avatars. So Lord's avatars are again divided into 6. If we all know that, like Purusha avatars, Leela avatars, Guna avatars, Shakti Avesa avatars, Manmantra avatars, and I missed one. Leela, Purusha. There is one more. So Lord's avatars are classified into 6. And the Manvantara avatara.
Guna avatara.
Guna, I said, Mataji. Leela, Purusha, Guna, Shakti Avesa, Manvantara. There is one more I am missing actually.
Chadma, something they say.
Leela. Shakti Avesa, I said, Mataji. The one I was missing, like, oh Krishna, I don't know what I was missing. Or I said again and again and I counted.
Purusha avatar.
Purusha, I said, Prabhu. Karnodaka Sai, Vishnu, Shakti Avesara, Yuga Avatara.
Yuga avatar, maybe. Yeah, Yuga.
Yeah, I was missing the Yuga Avatara. So Leela Avatara, Purusha Avatara, Guna Avatara, Manvantara Avatara, Yuga Avatara, Shakti Avesa Avatara. So all the avatars, all the incarnations Lord takes in any universe can be categorized into all these 6. So Manvantara Avataras. So Lord also comes in Manu's time and then he maintains. So these 6 kinds of personalities maintain every universe. So that's how detailed every universe is maintained. That's how invisibly the Lord is there, everything. So Lord maintains this universe with his energies, with these different kinds of energies, by appointing various kinds of peoples to take care of us, to take care of those souls who said that they don't want the Lord. These souls are not those souls are who are devoted to the Lord, actually. All of us in this universe, we all came to this universe because we said that, Krishna, we don't want you. We don't want to enjoy with you. We want to enjoy separated from you. We want to be independent. So today we are all celebrating the Independence Day of America. I think this is Independence Day holiday. So we all want to be independent, like, but we are so dependent. We don't know that. Falsely, we think that we are very independent. And everything in this, even everything in our body, is also functioning by the mercy of the Devi Devatas who are appointed by the Lord for our care. The food that we are eating, we are thinking that we are cooking this food. I am buying this food with my own money. I'm cooking this food and I am eating this food. Who is going to stop me to eat whatever I want to eat? But if we cannot digest what we are eating, however rich we may be, however influential we may be, buying anything in this world and can be able to eat anything. Some people who can kill any animal and eat proudly claim that I can eat anything. But if your digestion does not work, even a small fruit, a strawberry or a small blueberry that you eat can cause, if you cannot digest, you can throw up the food and then you can feel that inconvenience. So that digestion also happens with the mercy of the Lord. So, but then every minute, every day, we feel that we are so independent. Actually, we will be really independent when we completely depend on the Lord, because our manufacturing itself was made as a part and parcel of the Lord. The jivas, the living entities, are part and parcel of the Lord. So when a part of a whole goes and connects with the whole, that's when it feels really independent. So the real independence is dependence on the Lord. The real independence is not denying the Lord or saying that I am the controller, I am the maintainer, I am the enjoyer. The real independence is identifying who is the controller, who is the maintainer, who is the enjoyer, and what is our relationship with him, and where do we really belong. So that is the real independence. To unthink any point of a time that we and being humble and meek and identifying our relationship with the Lord. So in the beginning of this canto, as I said, we will be talking about the Swayambhu Manu, and then Parishit Maharaj asked Sukadev Goswami about the Lord's pastimes in other Manus also. So that's why we will get, if I'm not wrong, in this canto, we will also get the fish incarnation of the Lord. Matsya Avatara also will come, I guess. And then also, we will also read about the tortoise incarnation of the Lord, which is the Kurma Avatara. Kurma Avatara also will come in this canto. I'm trying to remember on top of my head what all constitutes in this canto. Forgive me for that. If I know a little bit before, I would have been conformly saying, but I kind of know that Swayambhu Manu, Parishit Maharaj questions about all the different pastimes of the Lord in each of the Manus, and he starts with Chakshusha Manu, and he explains about the fish incarnation, and then also about the Mandara, about the Kurma Avatara and the Mohini Avatara of the Lord. All those things will come in this in this. In this canto, and the most beautiful, and I always like this pastime of the Lord. And then any devotees, it has been said that if you are struck in any situation where you are not finding any way out of it, sometimes the problems in this material world, you don't know the solution, you don't know what to do, and the anxiety and the fear and the uncertainty actually disturbs you a lot, where you are not able to function day to day. The important things that you have to do. Sometimes our problems bother us so much that we forget to do our day to day activities, or we even forget to do our own sadhana. So the acharyas recommend us to go and read Gajendra's pastime. So 8.2 and 3, and also a little bit in 4, Gajendra's pastime extends, especially 8.3, 8th canto, 3rd chapter explains the prayers of Gajendra. And they are so beautiful. The prayers of Gajendra are so beautiful. And any devotees who are finding any kinds of obstacles in their devotional service or in their material life, where it is obstructing their devotional life also, please go ahead and read the pastimes of Gajendra. That was it said. So 8.1 describes about the Swayambhu Manu, 8.2 about Gajendra's pastime, 8.3 also continues with Gajendra pastime, 4 explains why Gajendra has got that form, and then as I said, it continues to Matsya Avatara, and then all those things. So I won't go further deeper into all those uh, what all we will discuss in this 8th canto. That is all the 8th canto. And especially the part that we are going to read today is the Swayambhu Manu's prayers. From 9 starts Swayambhu Manu's prayers to the Lord. So this is another beautiful thing we see in Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the prayers of the devotees. Many of us may not be in a position to write our own prayers. So we can take the prayers of the great devotees from Bhagavatam. We can list all those things. I think you will find in internet also where some devotee has composed all the prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam. And there are very prominent prayers from the first canto, Kunti Devi's prayers, Bhishma Dev's prayers. First canto starts with Uttara, Parikshit Maharaj's mother's prayer, and then Kunti Devi prayers, Bhishma Dev prayers. And in every canto, like second canto, similarly, we have Brahma's prayers, Narad Muni's prayers, Vyasadeva's prayers. And in third canto also we have, and then fourth, fifth, like that. In every canto we find beautiful prayers of great devotees. Why we need to take these prayers? We need to know the structure of praying, first of all. The structure of praying is that we should first pay our obeisances to the Lord. So whenever we see Lord, either it in our own house temple or when we go to a temple, we need to first pay our obeisances to the Lord, putting our head down. If we are women, we have to put our head down and not like a sastang, because the woman's chest, stomach should not touch the floor, because they are for sustenance. So we should bend our head, and we should pay our obeisances. Men should do a sastang obeisances to the Lord. So that's the first thing we should do. As soon as we enter the Lord, we are identifying the presence of the Lord there. The Lord is present there. We are realizing that. It's not that if we don't identify or we don't realize Lord is not there. Lord is there in the temple, because that is why the priests do that prana pratishtha. They ask the Lord to come and stay in that temple, in that murti. So we pay our obeisances to the Lord first, and then we glorify the Lord. We identify our relationship with the Lord and we glorify the Lord. So to glorify somebody, you need to know more about them. So that's the whole point of reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Lord's pastime, is to know more about the Lord so that we can glorify the Lord. So if somebody asks us, come on, sit down and glorify the Lord for 10 minutes, then we need to see what kind of sentences we form to glorify the Lord. Suddenly we won't be able to say anything. So this is a good practice for all the devotees to do on their own every day, like sitting down, because we do so many things. We get a free time. What we do, we quickly take the phone and we'll browse the things. And then we don't even know that, 10 minutes was the free time. But what I did, I browsed for 1 hour and I missed an appointment for which I was waiting for 10 minutes. I forgot that also because I got so much engrossed in browsing on my phone, something nonsensical. So if we get a 10 minutes time, we all can sit down and start glorifying the Lord in our own words, or try to remember the prayers of the great devotees and understand how they are glorifying the Lord, how they are able to say so many verses in the glorifications of the Lord, what they are doing. If we do this exercise, that's a wonderful thing to engage our mind, our creativity, our memory, everything in the service of the Lord. So the next step in praying to the Lord is the glorification of the Lord. So either we can glorify in our own words, or we can just repeat the verses of the great devotees. If we cannot remember the verses, we can remember the essence of those prayers, and we can start saying that, Krishna, You are the controller of this entire universe. You are the maintainer of this entire universe. You have made this universe so wonderfully and you are maintaining. Can you please also maintain my life? Can you also please help me and remove all the obstacles in that are coming on my way? So in this way, we can talk, we can have a conversation with the Supreme Lord. So the second part of the prayers is the glorification of the Lord. And the third part is where we put our request, our desires to the Lord. So, but we do most of the times quickly, as soon as we enter the temple, we put our request to the Lord. Maybe we will be paying obeisances, but we don't glorify. So we should remember the structure of the praying, which we can see in all the great devotees. So we see here that Swayambhuva Manu is praying to the Lord. So, so Parikshit Maharaj asks to kindly describe about the Manus and Krishna's and Sukadeva Goswami is describing. So as I said, Swayambhu Manu has two daughters. I said three. I'm correcting myself. I think he has three sons and two daughters, Akuti and Devahuti. So Devahuti, we all have heard in the third canto, who is the mother of Kapila Avatara, Devahuti and Kardama Muni, a beautiful couple. Grihastha devotees should learn from Devahuti and Kardama Muni. Kardama Prajapati does tapasya and prays the Lord to give him a good wife. He knows that he's going to enter into the Grihastha and having a wife devoted and helps him to carry on the devotional service is very, very important. So he prays that. And Parishit and Sukadeva Goswami says that Yagnamurti and Kapila are the avatars which come in Swayambhu Manu's time. And then Swayambhu Manu gives up everything. He detaches himself from the material life. And then he performs austerities. And then that's where he is offering these prayers to the Lord. 12th verse. Nayasyadhyantau madhyam cha swaparonantaram bahihi visvasyamuni yad yasmat vishvam shatadrutam mahat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no beginning, no end, and no middle. Nor does he belong to a particular person or nation. He has no inside or outside. The dualities found within this material world, such as beginning and end, mine and theirs, are all absent from the personality of Supreme Lord. The universe which emanates from him is another feature of the Lord. Therefore, the Supreme Lord is the ultimate truth and he is complete in greatness. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is described in the Brahma Samhita. Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindaha Sarvakarana Karanam. Krishna, known as Govinda, is the Supreme Controller. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes. For the Lord's existence, there is no cause, for he is the cause of everything. He is in everything. Maya tatam idam sarvam. He is expanded in everything, but he is not everything. He is achinta abedha, bheda abeda, simultaneously one and different. That is explained in this verse. In the material condition, we have a conception of a beginning, end, and the middle. But for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are no such things. The universal cosmic manifestation is also the Virat Rupa that was shown to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, since the Lord is present everywhere and all the time, he is the absolute truth and the greatest. He is complete in greatness. God is great. And how he is great is explained here. It's a beautiful verse again. In 9th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter or 10th chapter. 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita in Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita. That is 10.8 or 9, 10, 11, 12. 11 and 11. 8, 9, 10 and 11 verses. Prabhupada writes one of the purports, one wonderful line. All of us know God is great, but we don't know how great is God. So when we are reading the scriptures, that is our goal, to understand how great is God. How everything in this universe is maintained by Lord. How his energies are working, not just in this universe, even in the spiritual world. How is he Sarvakarana Karanam? How he is cause of all causes? If we understand this one line, Sarvakarana Karanam, we find answers for everything that happens in our life sometimes. Like sometimes we may be having an miseries, unwelcomed, nobody welcomes miseries. Similarly, happiness also comes without our welcoming only, even though we desire it all the time. It comes without any notice. Similarly, the miseries also come into our life without notice. When happiness comes without notice, we don't complain. But when miseries comes without notice, we complain. And and then we get worried. So if we understand this line, Sarva Karana Karanam, O Supreme Lord, you are the cause of all causes. You are the cause of this entire universe itself. Then you are the cause of my own situation right now also. You know what is happening to me right now because you have approved it to happen. So when you have approved it, when you have given permission to happen this to me, that means that this is what is best for me right now. I may not be able to realize that. I may not be able to understand that. But since I have surrendered to you, I'm holding your lotus feet. Oh, my dear Lord, this is the right thing that is happening to me. Give me intelligence to understand that and help me focus on my life. So that one line, Sarvakarana Karana, can help us in our prayers, in our glorification to the Lord, and understand the situation. So every line, every word of the prayers of these great devotees help us a lot. So here, Swayambhu Manu is saying, the Supreme Personality of God, he has no beginning, no end, and no middle. Nayasya Adhya, Anto, Madhyama. So he does not have Adi, Madhyama, and also Anta. So from where we are getting this mentality of seeing a beginning, middle, and end in everything? From our material conception. So in this material world, everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Our own body itself is temporary. For some reason, I don't know, this morning when I wake up for chant, so I usually wake up at 3:30 to chant. So I was at the end of my chanting at 6 o'clock where Mataji has called, but I have a everyday daily reading with here Bhakti Viksha 6 to 6:15. So I was suddenly feeling like I was suddenly getting this thought. So before I sit for chanting 3 to 3:30, so I just send an affirmation or a realization to the whole group in one way, like an indication that chanting has started, please join. So suddenly I started feeling today, like, there we talk about the temporary nature of so many things in the material world. Um, the house is temporary, the car is temporary, so many things are temporary. So always remember to only spend time or spend your energy or time in accumulating those things, what is necessary. Not go deeper into those things and try to accumulate and spend your time and energy uh, in accumulating those things because they are temporary. And this morning, suddenly I started feeling the body itself is temporary. The body itself is temporary. So the one we know this, but we don't realize this every time. If this realization can stay with us for every day, most of the time, then we will get set in our devotional service very properly. That this body itself is temporary. Let me use this body to its maximum extent in the service of the Lord. Let me not use this body in the enjoyment of my own sense gratification, which which I might be doing again and again in every life. Actually, again, I want to quote from Prabhupada's Leela Amrita yesterday. Yesterday I was reading in Prabhupada's Leela Amrita, where Prabhupada is having a conversation with a Russian professor, Kotersky. So he was having a conversation and they were both were talking about communism um, uh, and then Prabhupada is talking about Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada says that every living entity is surrendering to something or the other. Either you surrender to a communal idea, either you are surrender to a monarchy, democracy, or dictatorship, or anything. As I was saying in the beginning, we are not really independent. We are surrendering to the laws of the government. So every one of us is surrendering to something or the other. As long as we are surrendering to something or the other than Krishna, we are like that small child who is changing the laps. So if you take a child to a function where there are so many people, everybody try to carry that child. And the child sometimes cries when it is going from one person's lap to another person. So we are like that. A living entity, as long as it is surrendering to different kinds of ideologies other than Krishna, is like a child going and sitting on the laps of other people other than its mother. So as soon as the child comes to the mother's lap, it feels protected and it feels happy and stops crying and laughs. So as soon as we surrender to Krishna, we are like that child who is sitting on the lap of mother. We feel protection. So the real protection is when we surrender to Krishna. The real protection is not when we are surrendering to all these ideologies. So Prabhupada mentions that to Kotoski, that he does not agree that there is no surrenderance here. Communist ideas is some kind of an independent ideas or something. Then Prabhupada explains and makes him understand how this is. And this is so wonderful to remember. So as long as we are surrendering to our own material body and using it in the enjoyment, we are like that child going from one body to another body, one lap to another lap, and trying to find happiness and protection. But when we surrender to Krishna, when we use this temporary material body, as much as possible, as much as we are having it right now, all of us may be at an energy level of, at different energy levels according to our age, according to our health, according to our circumstances. The body will not be energetic all the time, as all the time in the same way as it is. One day we will have it, we will have a lot of energy. One day we won't have any energy at all. So we need to realize that this body is temporary. We can never make it same all the times, and we can never make it young. As a day passes, we are one day older. We cannot make it young, and we will not be able to bring back our previous energy or previous strength. So let me make use of whatever I can today of this temporary body to my maximum extent, so that I can go back and get my spiritual body, which is the real one, which is permanent one, which does not have death, which does not have birth, which will get unlimited happiness, for which I am anchoring in this body. So this realization helps us. So suddenly this thought was coming again and again. And then with that thought, I was chanting, and then I was thinking, Krishna, make me remember all the time the temporary nature of this body itself, and to make use of this body in the service of Krishna. So this nature of finding beginning, end, and middle comes to us from our material conception. But Krishna does not have a beginning, end, and middle. If there is somebody who is there, who is the origin of Krishna, then he will become the supreme person, not Krishna. So when we are calling Krishna as supreme itself, that means that Krishna does not have a beginning, an end, and a middle. Nayasyadyantau madhyamcha. So Swayambhu Manu, who is the first Manu, who is ruling the universe as the first day of Brahma, is telling this. So they are more realized souls. Brahma himself is a realized soul. Before creating itself, in second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7, 8, 9, and 10, where we speak Chatusloki Bhagavatam, Brahma offers his prayers. And Brahma only asks 4 questions to Lord. What is your material and spiritual form? What are your activities in material and spiritual worlds? And then he also asks, how are your karmas? How are your activities in spiritual and material worlds? And the 4th thing he asks, Lord, you have given me a responsibility to create this world, and I don't have any intelligence, or I don't have any ingredients. So give me everything, and also give me intelligence, and keep me humble and meek, that always I remember that I'm your servant and I'm creating this world. Because sometimes a bigger responsibility, higher responsibility makes me feel that I am the supreme. Sometimes when you are responsible for some activity in any temple or anywhere, and everybody has to listen to you, sometimes we feel that we are like monarch there. We are dictators there. We will not take any suggestions or anything. We should be very humble and understanding that we are servant leaders. We are not just leaders. We are servant leaders. We are there leading to help everybody to serve Krishna. So Brahma actually puts that in his prayers. to Lord, saying that you have given me a great responsibility. Now please help me do this responsibility. Show your mercy on me that I can do this responsibility. So that is one thing when we can learn from Brahma's prayers every time, that when we have been given a great responsibility by our Guru or our Krishna, we should pray to the Lord saying, shower your mercy on me so that I understand that I am a servant leader here and I am not a leader here. So Swayambhu Manu, who is a realized soul, is saying that you have no end, no middle. Nor does he belong to a particular person or nation. Swaparonantar bahihi. He does not have conception of swaha and para, mine and theirs. Beautiful. I can just correlate the second canto's prayers of Brahma with this prayers of Swayambhu Manu. Brahma also says, in Brahma's answer, Krishna, when he was answering first question of Brahma, Krishna says that there is a created I and there is a creator I. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, if you all go and read 2.10.33 or 32, I exactly don't remember, but around that. The answer for the first question of Brahma, a created I and creator I. So he says these two are always individuals, soul and super soul. But one is created by the creator. So Krishna is the creator and we are created eyes. So especially in the 10th canto, Brahma says to Narad Muni that we are all getting lost with this I and mine. This is mine. They are mine and they are not mine. So everybody related to my body or mine, and whoever is not related to my body and not my family or not mine. So this draws a line and we start seeing the differences. And this is the cause of all kinds of issues. Because this classification of mine and theirs is coming based on our bodies. At a soul level, we are all same. We are all parts and parcels of the Lord. We are all equal. So that's why Panditaha in 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Samadarshinaha, a Pandita sees everybody same. A learned person, a person who learns scriptures, sees everybody same. How he can see everybody same? When he sees them as souls. He sees everybody as same. When you are seeing people with relations to the body, your thinking, your perspective becomes very narrow. So right now we have become so narrow-minded that my family, only wife, husband, and children. See, in previous days, I was reading this, a devotee has forwarded. We don't have time now to practice Krishna consciousness, but in olden days, people used to live together. 10, 20 people used to live together in a family. Still, they have time to practice their devotional service. Now, very few people live in a family. Maximum 2, 3, 4 people, 5 people in a family. Still, we don't have time to practice Krishna consciousness. So everything is becoming smaller and smaller. Still, we don't have time for Krishna consciousness. So this Krishna does not have this conception of mine and theirs, because everything belongs to him. So that is what Swayambhu Manu is saying. Swaparo nantar bahihi. You have no conception of mine or theirs, or inside or outside. There is no that kind of antar bahir. So there is no that kind of a classification for you. The dualities found within this material world, such as beginning and end, mine and theirs, are all absent from the personality of Supreme Lord. The universe which emanates from him is another feature of the Lord. Vishwasya Muni Yad Yasmad. So the dualities are absent from him. So when Krishna comes here and performs his karma, they are all above the modes. They are all transcendental. They are not driven by mine and theirs. For Krishna is a benefactor of everybody. He takes care of everyone. Even the atheists who say that there is no Krishna, Krishna is the cause for that person to digest. Krishna is the cause for that person to perform actions to fulfill his desires in the way he wants, because Krishna gives permissions to do that. So Krishna is equal to everybody. But those devotees who comes and wants him to give him a special care and surrenders to him and does service to him and only want him, he pays more attention to them because they want him. So, ye yatamam prapadyante. How we surrender, in the same way, Krishna reciprocates. It's not that I'm surrendering to Krishna, but Krishna is not reciprocating. He is differentiating me. No. The reason we see Krishna's involvement not to that extent in the people and some devotees, because the devotees have surrendered to Krishna. And there are people who did not surrender to Krishna. Even though they have surrendered, they did not surrender to the fullest. Their surrenderance is not to the fullest. They are going and praying, but they are giving Krishna orders. Like, Krishna, I want this job. Give me this job. Krishna, I want this money. Give me this money. So if we are asking Krishna something, telling that, Krishna, give me this, and then only I will be happy. So after praying so much for that, even though we will not be happy, Krishna has to fulfill that desire, so he will give. But the devotees are saying, Krishna, if you so desire, give me this. It's not that I want this or I don't want this. If you desire something, you do that to me. So that completely changes. Like if a kid's mother wanted to do, let's say, a big meal, but this kid is crying and saying, I only want this. Then she will drop all her plan of making 4 or 5 items which that kid likes. And she will only do that one item which is not in her plan. But this kid is crying and cribbing about it. She'll give and then she'll go, even though that is not good for that kid. So that is how it is. So, but Krishna does not have any mind there. I'm going to punish this set of people and I'm going to shower mercy on this set of people. That kind of concept is not there with Krishna. So that's what Swayambhu Manu is complaining. Swayambhu Manu is saying in his prayers. And there are no dualities. He's below dualities. So the dualities, actually, some in scriptures, the duality started growing from the Dwapar Yuga. Even before that, people were a little bit above the dualities. So heat, cold, happiness, distress, mine, theirs, this is all has started growing. And then Visvam Chatadrutam Mahat. He is the form of universe, its source. He is the ultimate truth and complete in greatness. So if there is anybody great, that is greatest, that is Krishna. He is complete in greatness. There is nobody greater than him. Like how he has no beginning, no end. There is nobody who is his creator, who is his maintainer, who is his controller. In similar ways, there is nobody who is greater than Krishna. So if you want to identify a greatest person, it ends with Krishna. There is nobody greater than that. So if you are trying to find the absolute truth, Krishna's form is the last destination. So similarly, everything greatest, Krishna is the greatest. Ishvara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is described in Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govindaha, Sarva Karana Karana. Krishna, known as Govinda, is the Supreme Controller. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. Ishvara Paramaha Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha. These prayers are by Brahma before creation. Ishvara Paramaha Krishna. So here Brahma, who has seen the Lord, is saying that Krishna has a form which is Sat Chit Ananda. That is the spiritual form. We all also have a spiritual form. But right now our spiritual form is, it has shrinked and has hidden, and it is covered by the material forms that we are taking. He is the origin of all. So he is the origin of all. He is the beginning of all. He has no other origin. For he is the prime cause of all causes. For the Lord's existence, there is no cause, and he is the cause of everything. So some people, sometimes they think that they are smart and they put this question. God has created everything. Who has created the God? If somebody is there who has created the God, then that person will be called the God. So when we are saying Krishna is the God, that means there is no creator for Krishna. He is expanded in everything, but he is not everything. So his expansions are everything. So people who are nature lovers, who consider nature as great, they will say that this is Krishna. Nature is Krishna. There is nothing more than that. Because we can see the nature, this is what is supreme, this is what is the highest realization of the God. No, it is his expansion. He is in everything, but that is not him. He is there apart from this nature in his spiritual world as Krishna also. He is Achintya Bheda Abheda, simultaneously one and different. Like how we are simultaneously same as Krishna and at the same time different. Like how By nature, we are also spirit souls. Krishna is also spirit. But in quantity, we are Anu Atma, and in Krishna is Vibhu Atma. So Krishna is quantity-wise, we are very little. Krishna is huge. So we are same and different at the sameness and difference exists at the same time. So we are equal in the sense that we are also spiritual, but we are different in the quantity. That is the whole concept of Achintya, Beda, and Abeda. Beda is the difference. Abeda is not difference. So Beda is that in quantity we are less and Krishna is more. Abheda is nature, like how a drop of salt water has same chemicals as anything that you take from the ocean. So we are also of spirit nature. So Abheda is the spirit nature of us and Krishna. Achintya means inconceivable. We cannot conceive this sameness and difference at the same time. So many features of the Lord are not visible to us. We will not be able to visualize them because we are having materialized. So that's why Achintya, Beda, Abeda. That's the philosophy. This is explained in this verse. In the material condition, we have a conception of beginning, end, and middle. But for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are no such things. The universal cosmic manifestation is also Virat Rupa that was shown to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. So this universe is also his Virat Rupa. Virat Rupa does not exist eternally. It's only in the material world. It is not in the spiritual world because it is showing how this material world is created by Krishna's different energies. So Arjuna, Brahma, all these people have seen the Virat Rupa. He is the absolute truth and the greatest. He is complete in greatness. God is great, and how he is great is explained here. So Prabhupada writes that God is great, but how he is great is explained here. So when we understand all these points, we will be able to glorify Krishna in our own words. And then we can always have this structure of prayer. We can learn from all these wonderful devotees of the Lord. So I'm going to stop here, devotees. I took 5 minutes more. Sorry. If anybody have any questions or comments or corrections or additions, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, then Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, thank you for very nice class, various topics, and importance of prayers. I have one question about the prayer. Like there are multiple kind of prayers, and one can recite them, you know, accordingly. So, how important is the timing actually for the prayers? Because some people are who are very devotees who are elevated, they are very strict about the timing when to say, when to recite those prayers. Like you mentioned about the Gajendra Moksha Leela. Devotees recited before the sunrise, and there are like Narsingadev, Kvacham, and there are so many of them. How important is the timing actually for the devotee who is neophyte, who is starting his journey?
Timing you are asking in a day when to recite or like
Yeah, timing actually. Yeah.
when to recite these prayers in a day? Yeah, ideally morning for all prayers because we start our day. Sattva guna will be more in the mornings before we enter into the world. So those of us who got used to praying early in the mornings, we understand the peacefulness of the mind at that time. And they are good. And also the sunset times are also recommended for praying. But then if we are not able to do in those timings, those prayers, we can find any better time, but not like too much into the late into the night. We can find any better time and sit down and then have a clean mind and clean body and then offer these prayers to the Lord. And before offering, we can know the meanings of those verses at least and learn how to pronounce them correctly. And then sitting down and reciting them regularly can help us.
Thank you, Mother.
And as you said, yeah, there are many prayers.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandar Pranam, all glories to Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. This is Padmini Radha Devi Dasi.
Hari
Um,
Bol Mataji.
Mataji, lovely class, and I was just reflecting on, because I always have that question. Sometimes when we stand in front of the deities, I'm speaking for myself. I'm so spellbound by their beauty, and I just don't know what to pray. So I just stand there many a times. I give my obeisances and I just uh, basically stand there. And I've tried to ask this question even before in one of the forums, how to pray, because it is very difficult uh, to prayer, meditatively. Because and I can definitely speak for myself, because growing up, I've grown up in a god loving family, but it was not necessarily I was not necessarily told about surrender, and how what your mood of humility, it should, you should work on your mood of humility and devotion. I was taught about how to respect your elders and etc etc, but uh, there was no understanding of what true surrender, or you should even attempt to have surrender in your life towards your devotional life. That was never given to me growing up. um, I was always told that when you are in trouble you should pray. uh, and I think it is very standard Indian households, like you look, because you do understand. So when I reflect back and when I try to analyze my upbringing, I realized that there was um, some amount of surrender, right? Because when you are in difficulty, you don't know what to do, you just look up, because at that point you're understanding that you are not in control, and you are trying to surrender to a higher power. But I guess I'm speaking a lot, but my that has been my confusion for many days and many years also, that I don't know what to pray, because the first things that come to my mind is to ask what I desire. But uh, when you were talking about like how to read the prayers of Queen Kunti and Gajendra Moksha, I have a big takeaway from this class, and I will work to I guess review those prayers at least, maybe not read them once in a while, and then try to meditate, because I'm definitely not at a stage where I would want to ask for more hardships like Queen Kunti. But thank you so much. I just wanted to share that.
Hari Bol Mataji. That's a misconception many of us get from Queen Kunti's prayers. Is like we should not be. It's not that we should ask for hardships. That helped her to be in Krishna consciousness. So we can always have to keep in our mind that Krishna consciousness is main. So we should ask Krishna whatever helps us to be Krishna consciousness all the time. And yeah, and then it's not that when we are reading Queen Kunti's prayers, we will get hardships. That is also a misconception. Um, yeah, that's also a misconception, because she beautifully writes like the glories of the Lord. So we can all meditate on all those verses. And then she puts a condition. She just does not ask for a problem. She says, if you are going to be with me all the time, I am okay with the troubles also. That's what actually she says in that in her verse. Like
Mm-hmm.
she says, like, if you are going to be with me all the time, I am okay having troubles also. So that's how she puts it there. Yeah, you many prayers, Mataji. When you read those prayers, and as you said, you are going to go and reflect on those prayers. That's a wonderful exercise. Take those prayers and read them. And sometimes you have your favorite prayer, and then you can pick that one and repeat again and again, and repeat again and again, and then dive deeper into those verses like a homework. See, all of us devotees also should have a plans to progress in our devotional life. This year, I'm going to dive deeper into these prayers. This year, I'm going to dive deeper into these prayers. Like that, if we dive deeper into those prayers and make our own notes and keep, and whenever we open those prayers and read, all those thoughts will come automatically to us when we are reading, and our mood is set.
Sure. Thank you, Mataji, and thank you for the clarification. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for this Nectar class. I put you on the spot, but it was so Nectar class. You explained so nice things and um, on this verse. So thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
I'm glad I could do the service, Mataji. Krishna's mercy. Guru's mercy.
Yes, you are working, but still you gave the time to us. So thank you so much, Mataji, for always being there. So anybody has any question or comment? Okay, otherwise we can end up the call here. Vanchakalpatarvesya कृपा सिंधुवेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय. नमाचार्य ठाकुर की जय. प्रभुपाद की जय. ग्रंथराज की जय. हरकेश वनमालिनी मंजरी माता जी की जय.
Jai.
So much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.